To consider the beginnings of what would become the city of Jesup, one needs to look no further than the first town survey and the home that sat on city lot number 1. In this house on the corner of Southwest Broad and Orange Streets lived the two signature people in the development of what would become Jesup, Willis Clary and Georgia Lee Whaley. Willis Clary is undeniably the father of the city. His signature not only is found on legal documents of land purchases and retail businesses, but it is found in the naming of the streets and the establishment of a local government for the town of Jesup. Clary was a man from humble beginnings who grew into a man of great importance. Willis Clary was the son of pioneers Upton Clary and his wife Sarah Southwell, who migrated to the area from Maryland and South Carolina. In 1850, the Clary family would reside near neighbors Silas and Nancy O'Quinn in the Friendship community. In 1861 at Savannah, Willis and two of his brothers enlisted in the Confederate Army. He would be elected first lieutenant, where he would serve in this position for 1 year before resigning due to a long-standing ailment. He served in the Supply Division for a period of time and was later listed as a farmer in the 1864 reorganization census in Appling County. Willis Clary had promised his friend Osgood Andrew Lee that he would take care of his family on the event of Lee's death in the war. Lee was killed in Virginia in the Battle of Seven Pines. True to his word, Willis Clary married Lucinda Lee sometime in 1864. The Lees had 3 children, Helen, Joseph Seaburn, who would later become a Wayne County sheriff, and Georgia Buena Vista. The Clarys would have no children of their own. In 1867, the Clarys moved to Station Number 6 on the Savannah, Florida and Western Railroad. The town survey was completed through his financing, and his home became City Lot Number 1. He would own several lots in the city and county and would serve as mayor at least 6 different times. He operated a dry goods store after his lumber mill burned. It is difficult to measure the impact Willis Clary had on Jesup and Wayne County. He was responsible for the New York firm Dell & Dixon Lumber Mill locating in Wayne County. He was responsible for several businessmen locating in Jesup, personally doing business with most of them, including Ben Milliken. He was responsible for the Macon and Brunswick Railroad coming through Jesup and intersecting with the Savannah, Florida and Western. The railroad was originally planned to go through Scriven. He had many land dealings with James R. Jesup of the Macon and Brunswick line, and he had a leading role in the annexation of the 3rd and 4th land districts into Wayne County in 1872. He gave the land for the courthouse and jail when the county seat was moved from Waynesville to Jesup in 1872. He gave the land for the First Methodist Church building and was the principal contributor of money and materials. Lucinda would start the church's first Sunday school. He was a member of the Jesup Masonic Lodge. Surprisingly, when Willis Clary died, March 1st, 1885, this notice of his death was not front-page news. There is a mention of him coming when the town was first laid out, but no mention of the fact that he paid for it and was the first mayor. When Lucinda died in May of 1925, her obituary lists a who's who of Jesup serving as active and honorary pallbearers. While Willis was the driving force behind the early development of Jesup, his stepdaughter, Georgia Buena Vista Lee, would grow it into more than just another railroad town. She was born September 29, 1861 in Appling County. She would come to Wayne County and Station Number 6 in 1867 with her mother and stepfather. Willis Clary built the home she grew up in Jesup and where she would live most of her life. The house was originally much larger, but fires in the home has changed its appearance. She married young. Her husband was Harry William Whaley, son of William and Elizabeth Burroughs Whaley from Staley Bridge, Lancashire, England. The Whaleys had come to Jesup after the Civil War. William Whaley was a successful businessman in his own right. He and Harry worked together in several business ventures. They owned the Whaley store on Southwest Broad Street. The threshold of the store still bears the Whaley name. Together they started the Farmers and Merchants Bank. After Harry's death, Georgia took over his role as business owner. She served as the president for the Merchants and Farmers Bank before she was given the right to vote. She donated land throughout the community, including land for the city park, land for the First Methodist Church, and through her affiliation with the Jesup Garden Club, she donated land for the public library. She successfully developed her own real estate business, and she managed all components of the Whaley business holdings for 40 years beyond Harry's death. Georgia and Harry Whaley had one child, Maud Lee Whaley. Maud would marry Elisha Duncan Graham, and they were the parents of 4 children, Georgia Lee, Whaley, Wirt, and Harvey Gladstone. Mother Whaley loved her family and took time to include them in her professional life and undertakings. Mrs. Whaley would stay active in business and civic affairs until her death in April 1956. Today, the 5th generation of the Whaley family manage the properties and businesses still in the family. Georgia Lee Whaley left quite a legacy for her home, that is Jesup. Take time to venture out into downtown Jesup and look for the Whaley name on the threshold of the Whaley store. Thank you for your interest in the city of Jesup and its observance of its 150th birthday.